Good morning, candidates. This video is for E.C.G.C PO, interview guidance. Now, you may think why I'm talking separately for this, because nowadays I get a request from people for mock interview, but most of them say they do not want it to be played in YouTube. They don't want their voice to be heard in YouTube. So that sort of a complex has come to majority of the candidates. So whatever interview I am able to do, that is not being relayed in YouTube. बात ये है बहुत से कैंडिडेट्स का कॉन्फिडेंस थोड़ा कम है, इसलिए वो लोग बोल रहे हैं हमारा इंटरव्यू यूट्यूब में आप मत डालो, इसलिए हम डालने नहीं पाते. सो तब क्या है, व्हाट इज द वे फॉर इन्फॉर्मिंग यू, आपको क्या क्या क्वेश्चंस आएगा, व्हाट आर द टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस यू विल गेट इन ECGC PO interview. First and foremost thing, see, it is like any other interview only. इंटरव्यू में आपको टेक्निकल नॉलेज सब overall only they will test, and they will test your confidence and suitability for the post. So इसलिए what you have to do is that, say, prepare for answering questions about yourself. Prepare for answering questions. Prepare for answering questions about yourself. And when you, for example, the questions can be, what is your native place, what is your father, what is the degree you studied, why did you prefer this degree. Likewise, questions can come, what are the achievements made by you in your school or college, what are the places you have worked, what is the achievement you have done. This type of questions will be asked regularly. It will depend on the discussion, conversation. As you talk, based on the answers you are giving, they will put questions and you must be able to answer the questions. For example, it can be, tell us about yourself. And what is your degree? Which year did you complete the degree? What is the CGPA or marks scored by you? Then tell me a few good points about your native place, family, or college. Then how did you come to know of ECGC appointment? Have you applied for other public sector undertaking jobs? What is your father? वो पिताजी क्या काम करते हैं? How many siblings do you have? And वो लोग क्या काम करते हैं? Then this type of questions will be generally put to you. You must be able to answer them. And after that, very rarely they can ask questions relating to your degree. In bank exam, in bank interviews, they do ask questions relating to degree. For example, if a candidate has studied mechanical engineering, sometimes they ask questions relating to mechanical engineering. If a candidate has done computer science, questions relating to computer science. So likewise, it will come. They can ask, but that is nowadays not very much. Okay. Then after that, what you should do is, you must be thorough about ECGC. Go to ecgc.in. Go to the website ecgc.in. You know that because you have written the exam, you have passed the exam, so you will be knowing it. Please go through this ECGC, and from there the questions can be, what do you know about ECGC? What are the functions of ECGC? What is the role of PO in E.C.G.C? Where is the need for E.C.G.C? Then how many regional offices are there in E.C.G.C? What are the objectives of E.C.G.C? What is the history of E.C.G.C? They may not ask. Vision and mission kya hai? Commerce students means they can ask about financial highlights of E.C.G.C and the awards and recognitions. They can also ask you who are the board of directors, namely especially chairman. What is the organization structure of E.C.G.C? What is the corporate governance policy of E.C.G.C? And what do you know about corporate social responsibility of E.C.G.C? Then corporate alliance. Then they are asked about career. They have given you why do you want to join E.C.G.C? The plus point of E.C.G.C. So please get to know about that. And there is one memorandum of understanding with the government of India that also you must go through and get to know. Then come to the website of our E.C.G.C. Then go to about us, get to know all the points I told you. Then go to product and services. There you have export credit insurance for exporter, export credit insurance for bank, then special schemes like factoring, buyer's credit cover, lines of credit cover, overseas investment insurance, etc. Please click each and every point and go through the points. Try to understand them. It is not easy. You have to go through that and understand why, say, E.C.G.C is giving policies to exporters, but they are giving guarantees to bank. Why there is need for both. So you will know it only when you know this. So accordingly, you must study basics of banking. You must know basics of commerce. Basics of commerce आपको मालूम होना चाहिए. Then economy, ये भी मालूम होना चाहिए. If you know all these things, then based on that, the questions can be asked. And one more thing is about the most common interview questions like what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, then why do you want to join E.C.G.C, what is your dream job, describe yourself, why you are looking for new job, who are the competitors of E.C.G.C, what motivates you, who is your role model, then are you a leader or follower, what are your hobbies, what are some of the leadership experiences, how would you fire someone, will you work for 40 plus hours a week, do you have any questions. Likewise, they can ask questions relating to self also. आजकल तो आप हिंदी में भी बात कर सकते हैं. सेम क्वेश्चंस आपको हिंदी में भी पूछ सकते हैं. आप हिंदी में आंसर करने से भी ठीक है, डिपेंड्स. और वो लोग आपको इंग्लिश में आंसर करने का कंपेल करने से तो इंग्लिश में करना पड़ेगा. So this is what it is. And these are general points relating to E.C.G.C interview guidance. If some of you would like to take a mock interview conducted by me, please don't ask clarification and all in email. If you want to have a mock interview, please remit rupees 100 to Google Pay or Phone Pay and this number, and then send email giving your phone number. Many candidates, I don't know Purposely, they are not giving their phone number. They are simply sending an email. How do you expect me to answer all the emails? So, and to solve that only, I am putting videos like this. So, you pay 100 rupees to Phone Pay or Google Pay in this number and then send email to me. Then I will send you the say link for Zoom interview, or you can have interview over phone also. So this is what it is, because I have conducted E.C.G.C interview for 2 3 candidates so far. All of them, they don't want it to be posted online, and that is why I am forced to give you this information only to you. So this is what it is. If you have any questions, if anybody who is appearing for E.C.G.C interview is online, if you are having some doubt, please ask the doubt. I can clarify you. Yeah. Any questions, please? But all this delay is because the date of interview has not been finalized, not only for E.C.G.C but also for Canara Bank. Yeah. Any questions? Anybody is interested in asking any clarification you want, you can put it here. And if it is possible, I will answer immediately. Okay. Any questions? No questions? No questions? Acha, acha. Here, I may play one video which is actually told by one Smita Sabarwal. Smita Sabarwal, she is telling about, say, she has been talking on the date of, say, International Women's Day, and during that time, she has been telling certain very good points about leadership and how to succeed in life also. I think it will be used for you. Yes, you can schedule mock interview on Sunday. Yeah, you can have a mock interview on Sunday, normally 11 a.m. or 3 p.m. In fact, Subita, I received some email from you. Suddenly, what happened when I was going through my email, that email got eliminated. So I could not reply to you. Sorry, I did not reply to you. Did I reply to you, Pata nahi? I don't remember, because today morning only I saw your email. But suddenly after 5 minutes I found that email is not there. Keeping you only in mind, I have a video which tells very good points. Please listen to that. Yeah, that email has been absconded. Can you please send one more? Please send one more. Now please listen to this if it is interesting.
World that we live in today. And of course, the institution that has always helped us to maintain operational dominance and battle worthiness every time this nation has gone to war. I salute all of you, the scientists, the technical advisors, the non-technical staff who make up this great organization. So when Tessie ma'am asked me to join all of you today, I was wondering what I should talk to you about. Thought to myself, these are scientists, highly qualified people who have dedicated their life to a very serious task, science and technology, R&D. I'm sure the right to want to work, the right to want to marry, this, to my mind, is what makes great organizations. As we move towards a more equal and humanist world, I repeat, not a feminist one, but an equal and humanist world, we must begin to realize and recognize that leadership and competence has no gender. I'm sure all the women out here will agree with me that our mothers and grandmoms have put us on a very strong platform. They, during their time, would have fought very pitched battles for issues that we take for granted today. The right to want to study, the right to want to work, the right to want to marry someone of their choice, and sometimes even the right to want to take decisions on behalf of their children whom they brought into the world. So they have given us a strong legacy. And I think it's up to us to internalize the revolution and take it in the right way forward. I truly believe that the world is ready for us. The question is, are we ready? Do we have the skills? Do we have the competencies to truly deserve a rightful place in the workforce? When young administrators join the service, I say young because, in spite of all the kind observations made, I'm not so young anymore. I'm almost 40. And young administrators do ask me nowadays as to what I think are the attributes of a good officer. So I often try to tell them in simple words that one must begin by trying to lead the self. That's a very difficult task. It means having commitment to your goal, to what you want to contribute to your chosen field of work, to have a long term vision of where you want to see yourself. And that involves consistency of thought. We may be flexible in the modalities, we may be flexible in the way we would like to achieve those goals, but consistency of thought is extremely important to leading the self. Good communication skills. Every time a leader speaks, he or she should hit target. That should be the impact of the communication skills. And of course, there has to be core integrity and courage to take a stand, to stand up for others who you think deserve that. And once, when you think that you have a grip on the self, then we may try and attempt to lead others. It means setting a direction. One can never forget that people come from different backgrounds, different prejudices, and getting them to commit to the common conscious is extremely important in order to achieve the objective that the team has set out to achieve. It means aligning your forces. I'm sure all the managers out here, the senior directors out here will agree with me that there are different skills in different people. Some people are good at strategizing, some people are good at supports in logistics, and some people are good at executing. So we must choose and align the forces in the right way. And sometimes there are people that you keep thinking hard, what are they? They belong to the organization. But that's where our skills as a leader comes to the forefront. Every human being has something to offer. It's up to us how to extract and how to make him or her a productive asset in the organization. And I think beyond this, I will not try to decode leadership for you, especially in the presence of K.T. Ramarao Garu, who is a very visionary and young leader and who will, I'm sure, enlighten us more on leadership when he speaks. So is it that easy? Is it that easy, ladies out here? We learn to lead ourselves, lead others, and are we, assured of short success in our careers? It's not easy. Very true. But I would also like to say here that the obstacles in the obstacle course is something that we need to be conscious about. We need to negotiate. And largely, it has to do with our own conditioning. I say this with whatever little experience I have seen of different women in different organizations, that women sometimes hesitate to take on new responsibilities. We often underestimate our own abilities. We often think when a new responsibility is assigned that we don't know how to do a particular job. But let me tell you that that might be an advantage. Learning to do it your way, going away from the beaten track, may actually yield better results. So never be afraid to take on new responsibilities. Also, in a study involving certain HR organizations, a very interesting bit of trivia was shared. And it says that, with due respect to all the men here, that men tend to overestimate their potential, whereas women try to underplay their abilities. And that's the reason why women are often promoted based on their past achievements and men on perceived potential. So, this is where we need to think straight. Not only must you achieve, but you must also not hesitate to demand your rightful place in organizations, because recognition is an extremely important cornerstone of personal growth and career advancement. You must learn to keep yourselves motivated. And the third obstacle, which across the world is the most challenging one, I'm sure all the ladies out here would agree with me that the biological clock and the career clock are in absolute conflict with each other. That is the age when a woman is expected to have a family, to look after young children, and sometimes take on the responsibility of aging parents. It's also the time when organizations decide to either have you in or write you off. So that is something which we need to challenge ourselves with. And the only thing that I can say here is that by all means, when you need to take those decisions of raising the family, of taking a break, please do so. But don't leave mentally till you actually leave on that particular day. Be in your job, be consciously focused till the day that you're actually working. And when you are done with those responsibilities, don't forget to come back and join the workforce. We often complain that there are not enough women at the top, not enough leaders, not enough CEOs, not enough policymakers. The fact of the matter is that not enough women stay in the workforce to be able to reach those positions. So you must motivate yourselves to come back and let the job be interesting enough to hold your attention. So therefore, you must look at sectors which actually challenge you, which actually have the potential to get the best out of it. And here I think the role of policymakers, leaders is extremely important. We must create the ethos and the ecosystem where women feel motivated to come back and contribute and grow. Again, a small snippet I'm sharing. I'm told in the Scandinavian countries, when an HR team looks at the promotion eligibilities of men and women, they often look at whether a man has availed his paternity leave. And if he hasn't, then eyebrows are raised. Well, I hope the day is not far when in India too, we have similar ecosystems in place where it is recognized and accepted that men and women have to share life's responsibilities equally, and that it should be a given. Here, in fact, I would like to share with you proudly an initiative of the Telangana government where it intends to support the livelihood loss caused to an extremely poor woman, maybe an agricultural labor, a coolie who goes to the fields and works. And the event of the time in her life when she's carrying a child, it is going to be compensated in the form of an incentive, which will be offered to her as a, you can say like a livelihood loss to support her, to allow her family to look after her, and also for the entire family to treat the childbirth as a happy event. It is going to be launched from April, and it will also cover critical events like immunization of the child, safe delivery for the mother, and other certain social indices which are extremely of concern to the world in general. Similarly, we must have better caregiving infrastructure in place in order to really create and encourage this kind of a ethos in place. But I think I've already overshot my.
Yeah. So those were some of the points that was given by the Sabita Sabarwal, IAS officer. They are really good. I have written down some of the points in the comments column. Can go through that. All these points will be of great use for women candidates and also for others, because she tells about leadership, she tells about feeling motivated, she tells about achieving things what we want. So this is equally applicable in the case of, say, our interviews also, where you try to set a target, you prepare yourself accordingly in that direction. That will certainly help you. Thank you. Best wishes.